That's all on the dailies this morning. We're headed over to our reviewer this morning, Chris Maduka. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Belinda.
Good morning, Chris.
Yes.
All right. The Vice President visited Enugu yesterday, and he was here to commission the Fashion Hub, basically giving some boost to the MSMEs. And I also heard in his speech he announced 150,000 naira for small businesses. I'm just wondering, really, are you impressed by that move?
Well, I have no reason not to be impressed when there is even some little moves coming from the federal government. But I'm saying for the Southeast, with all our industrial, what is the comparative advantage we have in the Southeast, when you are coming to commission MSME clinic and you are giving 150,000 naira as incentive, I see that to buy fuel. I mean, are you giving to the market women to buy vegetables so when the federal government, I think if they know what the people are going through, you want to give incentives, you should up your game. Days are gone when you want to empower Nigerians, you buy them those tins to carry water, those marijuana. Those are not the empowerment level we are at this level. Just imagine, Charles, I say you are a medium or small scale industrialist. What will 150,000 naira do for you? And it's just that, and that's why we're saying, if you're giving somebody an incentive, giving something that will work, are we dashing it out? If you are giving it as incentive, give it that the person will see it as something to look forward to, and then work towards even repaying it back, so that somebody else coming up will benefit from it. It's like a campaign dividend. It's like share 150,000 naira, and it has to be to who are the those ones who are favored. Few names will come up, and then they will benefit from it. 150,000 naira cannot transport somebody from Enugu to Aba to buy clothes to come and sew in Enugu. And you go to Aba, you can buy more than two samples of clothes. So it's a very good move. I'm saying our dear Vice President who came to represent the President, who is on leave, I don't know what is work stay, or is it just official leave, whatever. It's all good. What we are saying is that the dear Vice President...
What would you prefer? 500 people receiving 150,000, or 500 MSMEs receiving 150,000, or 120 people receive 1.5 million?
I would prefer 100 people receive 1.5 million. Let them be the kind of, incubator. Form the kind of business incubator. That's what called, I have worked with a group, they call it, and they nurtured what they call business incubator group. Get 5 people, give them empowerment, put people under them as to mentor. And when they finish, that people that they have given 1.5 million over 6 months or 1 year, releases the 1.5 million to another 100 people. That is solid. And if you give an Igbo man 150,000, it's like a dash. I know the sensibility of an Igbo man who is in business. One sewing machine, one accessory in a sewing machine that can give a design, and there is embroidery or something. I mean, those ones know. I know. Can 150,000 can buy it? And we talk about. I just don't know how to say it. It's not empowering enough for the business. The way they say is fashion, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we should be talking about industry and we are talking about fashion, because fashion is not something we should be promoting. when we look at Nigeria, we look at Aba. If you go to Abia and go into the market and start empowering people into fashion, good. You don't come to Enugu and say, well, it's okay if the Borg of fashion has beat Enugu and we are coming up. Good, but then let's start it in a good way. That's all I'm saying. But it's still a way forward. Good. Thank God even our vice president could come. Because if the president couldn't come, the vice president could come. It's still something. It could have been Minister of Trade or anything. But then the vice president is here. We say good luck to Nigerians and good luck to Enugu people. But then even the people that receive 150,000 should know. I didn't know whether it's grant, is it loan, is it dash? Incentive. So enjoy your incentive, do something with it.
Okay, Chris, Tinubu has come to say to terrorists and bandits, say surrender or die. Do you think that's a far cry?
He didn't quote what the terrorist told our dear president that his days are also numbered. I think I had.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one you want. We are reviewing okay, let's take the one of our president is more dear because our dear president has said surrender and die, and it's fair enough. In the spirit of all things pure and holy, I think it's not going to be politicized. It's not going to be drowned by sentiment, emotion, or what people will think anybody is trying to. The heat and the suffering and the death and the bloodletting that Nigerians have suffered due to terrorism and associated evil is enormous. In all my life, I've not seen this kind of thing in this part of the world. And whatever and whoever is involved should heed the voice of President Tinubu if they require. There was time during Goodluck Jonathan, there was some negotiation. We used to have what they call the Mama Boko Haram, one woman who was in charge of leading. At a point, there was so much propaganda against her, even they were threatening going to jail and so much thing. But there were some people who said, Sheikh Gumi said, has been speaking and has been having interfacing. I think we should explore if there are people who can talk to these people and there is some solid arrangement that they can get them to sit down and say, let's talk. In as much as in some part of the world they believe you don't negotiate with terrorists. But our own has gotten to a point. Are these people really terrorists? What is their growth? What is making them to feel that pain to the point of killing people, destroying property, and trying to inflict that kind of pain on this country? Who are they? These are things that we should, if by now, for going to over 22 decades of suffering this, we should have established as a country. Now, if this has been established, and we have used force to match force, it did not work. We have used other things. I think we should try probably bringing them back to the table to negotiate. You know?
There's this story that is quite weird. It's weird because of what the modus operandi. 2 police officers were killed yesterday in Anambra State, and the gunmen used improvised explosive to actually carry out that attack. I'm wondering if you've seen that particular story because it's quite stunning. I was just wondering, like, we don't have that kinds of attacks in the southeast where you have individuals or people who use improvised materials to commit havoc. I mean, we know we have criminality, pockets of it, shooting and killings, but you hardly hear gunmen use improvised materials. Is this, do you think, is a new era for the use of these kinds of weapons in in the southeast?
When you know that Nigeria is just a drop in the, when you say global life, just look at what will it take somebody from Kaduna to get to Anambra State. It will not take somebody highest 8 hours. What happened in Northeast will touch the other end of the Nigeria. The highest distance Nigerian traveling by road to touch another part of Nigeria is 12 hours. So for over time, when this thing has been happening in other part of Nigeria, people felt what is these are people, what people manufacture everywhere. We have had in Nigerian news where police are breaking factories where these things are manufactured and all that kind of thing. And you are talking about Southeast. When you remember what happened in 1967, and some of us that read the history of what happened, how some of these improvised things were used to affect the war. It will be, it's even coming too late to start hearing about those things now. Because those things are there, maybe they are swept under the ground. And that's why the security forces shoe up their games and know that, like my father would say, when the lion did not kill, when the lion did not see anybody to kill, they said the lion does not exist.
All right.
It's just that the lion is lowering at the one part of the corner. It's just because he has not seen anybody to kill.
All right, Chris, there's a breaking story reaching us right now. I'd want to bring you up after the news goes. A video just reaching Signature TV indicates that at 1 a.m. earlier this morning, River State Governor Sir Similaye Fubara foiled an attempt by the Nigerian police, led by the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations River State, to take over the River State Independent Electoral Commission RISIAC at 1 a.m. on Friday, 4th October 2024. The policemen were said to have attempted to scale through the gates and strong room of the commission to cart away sensitive electoral materials meant for the conduct of Saturday's local government elections in the state. However, the plot was botched when vigilante security officials alerted principal officers of the commission and relevant government authorities, who immediately informed the governor of the development. The governor immediately led a team of government officials, lawmakers from the National Assembly and State House of Assembly, top political stakeholders, and other leaders to storm the facility. The governor accused the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokum, of bias, vowing to hold the election with or without protection of the police. According to him, quotes, the so-called judgment issued by a high court in Abuja did not stop the election from holding, but rather asked the police not to provide security. Same with INEC not to release the voters' register. There was nowhere in the purported judgment that the court ordered elections must not hold. Governor Fubara said enough is enough. Election will hold and winners will be declared. This is breaking.
We came here this morning when we heard that according to what they call themselves, Nigerian police, are coming to take over the premises of River State Independent Electoral Commission. And I had to come myself to find out why would such a thing happen. From what I heard, that one DC operation brought them here to withdraw policemen that are already here protecting this place, so that new officers will take over the place. But I have to say this on a very strong note. We've been taking enough nonsense from this institution. Everybody is aware of the court judgment, and even the judgment as they call it, the ruling. Did the ruling specify anywhere that election should not hold? He said, don't give voters register. What are we doing with it? Okay, police, don't provide security. Don't provide security. Is this the same thing as blocking the election? I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state. I don't know the relationship because it's beginning to go beyond the normal professional relationship. I said the government wrote a letter with the judgments that we have to him, and what he's acting on is what he called the federal government, the judgment he got from the Federal High Court. Even at that, if we should go by that, the judgment in the Federal High Court, did he say election should be bad? Lifu, that's that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment. Did he say no election? Rather, it technically said, don't provide. We don't need your security. We will provide our own security. After all, it happened in Anambra. Go away with your security. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do, do it. The election result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it? And when it comes to the issue of River State, it becomes different. You're not ashamed of yourself. You call yourself Inspector General Police.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I will be here. In fact, if I go back and I hear anybody, I will come here. This is my property. And you don't have any power whatsoever to bar me from entering it. Yes. Just try it. That part of your history as a very wicked and fraudulent Inspector General Police will include shooting Fubara. Yes. I think I've given you enough respect. Well, let me say it to all Rivers indigents. Everyone residing in River State, election will hold. Yes. Yes. Election will hold. Yes. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen. We are here. Other states did, yes. We are here. I don't understand. I'm not going anywhere. Let it fear anybody. We are here. All other states did. So, everybody, just relax. Nothing is happening. Nothing. We are ready. If we know that this is going to be the last fight, and we will take it to the end. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right there, basically fighting for his life. This is more like the last straw that some people will say that's broken the camel's back, but it does look like that's another fight that he is putting out. PDP and APC did protest yesterday, stating that the governor must obey court order, asking that River State's governor listen to the courts and not to actually have that local government elections. Now, just by midnight, we had the police storming INEC to take away sensitive materials. And the governor is saying that the courts did not say that elections in Rivers should not hold. It just only said that security police would not, be able to, guard whatever it is that they are doing. And even blaming Egbetokun that he is biased and that he hasn't read the judgment. And so because of that, he feels that, it's more like a kangaroo country, that we're doing whatever we want to do in this country. I mean, you've been following these developments, and it's been a topic that's been trending in the last 1 year, in fact. I'm not sure he has even rested since he took over office.
That's a restless long run of the low cost, as they say. But remember, my people, the popular Agama lizard said if he doesn't do what makes him Agama lizard, the children will eat him both the rainy season and dry season. If Fubara refuses to do what he's doing, the likes of Wike will chop him in dry season and the rainy season. This is his last fight. The only thing that gives him legal power to be governor is the local government and the legislature of the state. And that's where they are pulling him out. Let the APC and PDP go to hell. They have never, in all their places, obeyed court judgment. They shouldn't start with River State. Let them leave this guy to rest and breathe. I don't know Fubara from Adam, but whatever they've done to him has given him what they called underdog status. He's now is a man that is being offended by every sense of it. He's fighting for survival. What is the offense? That is until somebody answer me. What did the Fubara do to you and to all the people fighting him? That you made him governor, accepted. You said you are the godfather, accepted. Then it's only when you say, my father told me of a man in the village one time. He doesn't have a wife, doesn't have children. The social organization, they call them the social committee, came to clean his house, did everything, swept. Even when they opened his mattress, they find out some snakes have died there when he slept on top of them. And then when they finished, they now told the man that we are going to brush his teeth. And the man said, you guys have come to kill me now. They've done everything. When they want to brush his teeth by force, the man know what pain he will go through. And he said, I want to kill me. You did everything for Fubara. What is left to kill him? And my father said, if anybody want to take your life, because life is sweet to everybody, swallow your own in your stomach. Let Fubara swallow his power to guard the River State in his stomach. Because all the people involved had governed the River State, and when people try to intervene, they swallow their power in it. And that's what he's doing. I even salute his courage that he is standing out in the midst of all this to do this. The only thing is that he's even been decent. He has not been that violent, and people have not. And he commands a lot of respect. People now see this governor stands for his right. He's not somebody who can cowed, just to disgrace them. He has some people who now said, but this is your time. Once you fail, generation will look at you as a coward. So he is fighting to prove that the people of River State has asked him to be their governor. And nothing, and not even one individual, and all the powers put together that will put him out. And that's why he's still standing. And if people will look at it, it's both spiritual and physical. No matter what, his own right, I don't know how they do it, the exotics, but when you put it at the justice, put it at it, if he's doing his sword like this, the one that tilts is the one that cut out. I think his right is still up.
Right.
More heavy.
And I'm just wondering, really, as soon as the people who he had nominated for the chairmanship moved to APP, I just thought that there was going to be some chaos, because it does mean that the structure of the PDP in Rivers is still with Wike. And so, because of the little influence he has within the PDP, and the fact that it does look like the executives of the PDP at the center has actually even shifted towards Wike, he looks really bewildered, because he's not right now not even with the APC, he is not with the PDP, because the two parties protested, and then he is most likely going to give the chairmanship positions to APP,
So
a different party.
you know what that means? These are the people who deliberately put fire on their house. This is the usual word of this. I'm sorry to say, the Imo woman who was selling beer parrot. He said, Chidimma Arema, Amo Arema, that means my daughter Chidimma, you don't like. My the other daughter, you don't like. Even myself, you don't like. You should leave. You came. I am your governor in PDP. You said it's not good for you. Even to try APC is not even an option. I now moved to APP, and you now started shouting. You set fire on yourself. The proverb is, the goat follows the man who throws the fodder. And the politicians, who holding the fodder at this time. And the Fubara, with his fodder, the goat food. And all the politicians who are the goats are following him. Even if they go to if they create a new party today, and the Fubara, with the powers given to him, move in there, he will win the elections. And all those people would have lost because they set fire on themselves. And what it means is that River State, of all powerful state, has lost You know how River State is the pride of the nation.
Absolutely.
The ATM. During the days of Amechi, is the ATM of nation. During the days of Wike, it was the ATM of the nation, whenever they want to win election. Now, imagine when the unexisting party takes over River State. You know how they're going to cut the nation real bad coming from there. So they know what they do. They set fire on themselves. So it's God that is punishing them. And they're going to get their punishment real bad. What is the offense of the young man? The Igbo proverb said, you pursue somebody, pursue a man who doesn't have it until you pursue him into a very comfortable house. They are now pursuing Fubara into a very beautiful and comfortable house where suddenly overnight he will become a godfather. Because if he establishes a new party now and they win the landslide of all River State, you come tomorrow and tell him, what are you going to tell him? He begins from there to build his powers and become godfather. But what does it take to be godfather? When you suddenly become a god and a father, then you put them together, you become godfather. Charles, leave matter for Matthias.
Leave matter for Matthias.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This quietness, minimum wage, selective payment, VIO, and the court order. If that court order has not come, I'm sure the VIO people in Enugu, where I stay, would have faced one day because it was building up the pent-up anger of what they do. I'll tell you, these are people that come at New Haven Junction, Bisala Road Junction. They do at a hot point in a day, they just mount the checkpoint there. And they harass people, collect money, and you don't see them in any other portion of any other point doing anything to help traffic situation. They just mount and carry people to the office and you negotiate and settle. And people will start asking. Some children will say, Daddy, what is VIO? Charles, what is VIO?
Vehicle Inspection Officer.
What do they do?
They inspect vehicles.
Which vehicle do they inspect?
Vehicles that are plying on Nigerian roads.
And then when they inspect it, what happens?
If it doesn't, if it doesn't go with the law of road usage, they tend to impound the vehicle.
And then when they impound it, they put it where?
In their office.
And if it's put in the office, what happens next?
They'll ask you to come and pay to get it out.
Have you been to the office?
In Enugu?
Yes.
I really don't know where it's.
So you need to go and see how many vehicles since they started working, they've impounded and they mark them off-road that they are not. That means something is wrong. Either it shows, suddenly the government, I think one of the good things that happened in our time is that VIO has been put out of existence. Because if they don't have power to do what they are doing, they should go into extinction. I was part of the negotiation when I worked with road safety at the initial aid. During the days of the Doasi, Director of Organization Road Safety Commission, the pioneer days, I was a member of Public Enlightenment. We came to Enugu on 2 days negotiation with VIO to merge. They stood their ground and refused to merge with road safety. Because we find out it's duplication. There's nothing that doing that road safety did not accommodate. If they had merged by now, they would use the experience to consolidate. They stayed off just to milk Nigeria. You go to Abuja, some people will swear in their life not to meet VIO because you wouldn't even know what they do. And when they catch you, the kind of things they get involved, they are the slow and quiet sleaze and graft that have eaten Nigeria dry. So I thank the Nigerian court who said VIO do not have power to impound. Let them go back and get new powers to do whatever they want to do. But for now, Nigerians should celebrate that the VIOs do not have any other power to impound vehicles on Nigerian road because they have gotten to their remote. They have shown Nigerians in this tense up situation, they would have been the next target of attack. But God saved them. The court saw what was coming to them and saved them. Because people are not talking good about VIO anywhere. Just say it's not because they are doing their work. It's not because of if they do their work and it's clear they do their work. It's because of the corruption involved in VIO and what they do.
Okay, electricity costs to crash soon, says federal government.
They told the Oyibo man in Igbo land, he said, Otolobag, he said, until I see it. You know what it means? He does not understand what you're talking. If you speak to Igbo man using Igbo language, he said, until I see it. All these political words, if I see it, I believe. We have had free education in the year 2020. We have had so many taglines, electricity to crash soon. Says who? Why did he go up in the first place? If you're going to crash, you better crash. Because if it doesn't crash, the nation will crash. Something has to crash for us to continue. Because we cannot continue this way. Do you understand? And you say you want, we indirectly crashed the nation. And we are expecting power. Let them put it on. I enter a vehicle and say, how much? From one point to another, they say 400 naira. I said, why not make it 500 or 1,000? They started laughing. Put it at that point. Let Nigeria stop moving. All this struggling to move is not taking us anywhere. In fact, I am part of the people who are moving that this nation should stop working one day. Both the governed and the governors will run. All this struggling to move is what kept us where we are. Let them make one policy that will make this nation. You wake up in the morning, find out your neighbor, you know, they say go where? Everybody is at home. Then let me see those ones who make policy. If they know wrong, then something is wrong with them. We then put this source in these policies and everybody is struggling. To survive is like put fuel at 5,000 naira. Who is begging you to put it at 1,400? I won't beg again. I won't shout. Make fuel 6,000. No. That's what will make Nigeria survive. Put it at 10,000. Once it's 10,000, then let's look around the survival of the fittest. If you look around and still see any Nigeria in the street, then you will beat your chest and say you were a good governor, you were a good president, you were a good NNPCL, you were a good Dangote, all those things you put together. But when you do it, you did not see anybody in the street. 2 days, 3 days, they will all run. God help them. So that this idea, they put it, they're just, now juju they tell hold us. This thing is getting out of hand.
Right.
It is crazy. It is every day one thing come up, power, add this one, add fuel, add more. It's crazy.
All right. Senators back bill for South Development Commission. In fact, I'm just going to ask whether you think what you think basically about this development. We've had the Northwest Development Bill, we've had the Southeast Development Bill, we've had the Northwest Development Bill, and the South Development Bill has passed the second reading. I'm going to ask you later, but let me just get this call across. We have somebody on the line from Rivers State who will give us an update on what's going on in Rivers. Thank you so much, Williams, for your time. We truly appreciate you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Williams, can you give us an update on what's going on in Rivers? We understand that the governor had to come out this morning, earlier around 1 a.m., just to basically make sure that the police doesn't take over the premises of the RISIEC office. Can you give us an update on that?
Yes. Report reaching us early hour of the day. Sequel to the position of the governor, we are affirming and reassuring the electorate and the stakeholders in the state that the election will take place as planned. News reaching us midnight, early hour of the day, around 1 a.m. A call came, a distress call from the RISEC office, that is the Rivers State Independent National Commission office, that some police men we are making an attempt to break into the premises, and it was led by the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Head of Operations, to take over the premises. The plan was to steal then take control of the premises so that the materials, the electoral materials, could not be released for the election to take place tomorrow. So the call was put straight to the governor of the state, which mobilized the government house team and other political stakeholders like the chief of staff, the speaker, the Okojumbo-led speaker of the House of Assembly, and other top security officials from government house. Immediately they moved straight to the research office. So reaching there before the attempt by these work police officers who actually made us a plan and then took over the research office. So that was what happened. Like this, we were out think that the governor will soon brief the state. So we are still waiting on that. So that's just the development. Maybe just a day from today, tomorrow is the election proper. So that was what we wake up to. Even from the midnight to the monitoring the news.
All right, you. I understand that the governor. Okay, Williams, I understand that the governor made a speech while he was at RISEC office earlier this morning, and he was saying that the judgment did not involve that the elections would not hold. Is that really true, based on the judgment given?
Based on the judgment and the reactions from the police, spokesperson, yes, there was a statement issued that for them, the police officers, they are withdrawing their services and shares. It was clear in the statement that they will not allow the use of such statement, but we don't know how far. That they have the legal judgment restraining and barring police from participating in the elections.
Okay, so, I mean, if police doesn't participate in that election, I wonder how it's going to look like, because the governor said in that particular statement earlier this morning that Rivers State will provide its own security. Is there a different security aside the police in Rivers State?
That could be a political statement. We don't know what is the truly intended by that, but he has said that over that nothing will stop the forthcoming election scheduled to hold tomorrow.
You know,
he might use a sister security agent, alleged.
You know, a lot of people who are watching this, especially Rivers State residents, will be looking at their own safety. If the police say, if the judgment said that the police is not going to participate, and then the governor is confirming it, that the state has its own security, do you think people would even find it a duty worthy to come out to even participate? Because it does look like the elections might even dovetail into chaos, given the build-up that we have seen, the protest of APC and PDP, and then the takeover, the attempted takeover of the RISEC office by the police. And so then you wonder, really, do you think residents of Rivers State would come out to vote, given that their security is not really assured?
Yes, that's prevailing fear. It's actually a fear that is very not in our faces now. That was why the state governor had that meeting with stakeholders last night to reassure them. But with this attempt now, I think this now has further heightened fear of how the election will be tomorrow. You understand? Because that same yesterday, this PDP pro-Wike-led group, a protest walk, to launch their own defiance and disapproval of the election to hold. So they are calling all the security agencies not to partake to that the election did not hold. With this midnight, this early hour attempt again, I think the security issue in the state has been threatened. So, yes, it might have a long way, it might affect the electorate to some extent. Everyone says that have to observe, but need to be careful. Because the issue has been, I don't know, maybe they want to think the side of the little judgment. So we don't know the security the government is going to work with, but it's still assuring us that the election will be conducted and concluded by tomorrow.
The dynamic seems to be changing every minute. In fact, it's really dramatic. By the dynamics, I mean the local government chairman, flag bearers, who are somewhere, affiliated to the current government, are now with APP. They moved to APP, and then the governor is of PDP. And if everything go by what we are, are projecting, it means that APP at the local level would hold the local government's positions, and then we have a PDP governor, and then you now have the executives, who are practically different from the party at the grassroots. How do you think these dynamics will play out in Rivers State?
That's the funny thing about this politics of the thing nowadays. The governor is still identified with the party. We know already, like the FCT minister being Barrister and Wike has actually a structure to some extent. So all the stakeholders we all know belongs to the FCT. But the incumbent governor still remains with APC. With PDP. PDP to his statement last night, he expressed regret and discomfort that his party is not participating in this election, but he has nothing to do. He's trying to obey the Supreme Court order that gives that 90 days window for the election to commence, like elective official, local government officials. So, given to that he has no option than to obey the Supreme Court ruling. So, that is the situation we are having now, because the APP, Labour Party, other political parties have filled in their own candidate, not PDP. Like the protest yesterday, they equally stated that they are not participating. APC, led by Tony Okosha, equally maintains same ground and they are not participating. So the whole thing is even making the political scene more dramatic and more uncertain. So that is just the situation.
The governor blamed the Inspector General of Police, Egbetokun, for what happened last night. Do you see the...
We are waiting for it, like I said. There was a hint from government that we are still waiting for the notification of the brief. So anyway, I will know his position. But I think he has a little understanding with the CP, and the CP.
Okay.
Before this statement from the spokesperson came, they were having an understanding. But we don't know what will happen as minimum from now. So we are still waiting. We're just keeping our ears closed.
What about Egbetokun's involvement? The governor blamed Egbetokun for the invasion or the attempted invasion of RISEC office earlier this morning. Do you think that Egbetokun, the IG, has been biased in what's going on in Rivers State?
We yet to know. That one has not been on foot. But from the reports we gathered, from their own statement, they fell in. Those people at the scene of the event, who they cited was the deputy CP, not even the CP itself. So now he has not even said anything. He has not made any reference to the CP itself.
All right. Williams, thank you so much for your time. We truly appreciate your input on the show.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. Okay, so that was Williams giving us some updates on what's going on in Rivers State. Mr. Chris, it's something that is quite interesting. It hasn't really happened before. If you want to point at, some sort of things that have happened before, you can't really point at anything that's happened like this in the past in the Nigerian political landscape, where the governor is fighting his predecessor, and then there's local government election, a totally different party. I'm just wondering how it's going to play out.
If you know that when it rains twice in a day, you have your breakfast twice. Whatever that has brought this, it becomes a new normal. The Fubara is fighting for his lifeline. You know what he's looking for? He won't come out to say, I have moved to APP. He's still using the ticket of a PDP. So for those who are waiting for him to commit what they call political suicide, they can't get him immediately on that to call him a bad name to murder him. So he's still a PDP governor. But then for him to create another strong structure that backs him up to still maintain power, whoever marries your mother is your daddy. You call him daddy overnight. Papa. So if you APP, whatever DPP, or any of the parties are many in Nigeria, and you find them good to help you achieve your political plan and strategy, to retain power when the power is fast slipping off your hand and you're being fought from all angles. It's not APC that have seen Fubara and they have left him. Not even his own party, PDP, where is an internal battle. You can't even know how the young man is surviving. So if he finds succor in APP, has all the candidates are going for the local government election and they're coming from that angle. And he has seen some legal agents who have seen some loopholes in the legal thing that is coming from Supreme Court. And they have used that and see this is a safe haven. Let's sort it out now and then get the election won and then talk about it later. That is what is important is that if they succeed in making sure that the local government election do not hold tomorrow, then he may have failed in his powers as governor. Because it's the governor that decides who is the chairman of RISIEC, who are the returning officers of RISIEC. And so it won't come to River State own, and because of internal fight and the changes. So we have to give it to him. Whatever the fight, we'll give it to Fubara, let him dispose the way he wants to do it, and then we'll talk later. But once you're able to stop him from disposing these powers, that's where he has issue. And that's why he's fighting to make sure he's in control and he disposes the power.
But don't you think that tomorrow there's going to be much more chaos during
I monitored the Anambra elections. I didn't sight any policeman at the polling stations. Probably at Oka and bigger cities that might be. But in the polling station where I voted, in Anambra South, Idemili South, precisely in Nobi, precisely in the polling station 003 and 004 in Ward 2, Nobi Central School, was not single, not even a vigilante, and people voted. So all this issue of Hura Balua about security for what? It's only the man who has fetched firewood infested with ants that will be requesting a lizard for a visit. Otherwise, what the hell is local government election? What do you need? What is the police? And then if the police are so much concerned about the security, where are they going to take a risk? They should have mobilized the way they mobilized to Edo. 35,000. I don't know pronounce it the way my Igbo brothers pronounce Naira. 35,000 to Edo to organize. So what is stopping them? If they are sincere, they want to achieve peace. So who are they talking to? I'm not involved in their politics. I don't know who is biased. I don't know what, but let them know that we are watching. Let them know that we are watching. Days are gone when nobody is taking all these things for granted. We know. We are reading, even when you don't tell us. And if you do not explain the actions, we read whether we're right or wrong. And that's what is causing problem. So you better, in this generation, want to do anything, explain. Whether right or wrong, explain your intentions. Because when you keep silent and you're doing what you're doing, people can interpret it differently and it might not favor you at the end of it. So that's my interpretation. If the police think that Edo State, River State require peace, let them mobilize and send there, allow Fubara, organize these elections, and like they normally say, go to court. Why are they still court? If you feel offended, the thing has not gone, let the election hold, like they've all told Nigerians, and then go to court later. Why why all this playing with the mind and sensibilities of River State people? If they think they've gotten to a point and the River State said they must have their election, let's finish it, go to court and go and interpret it, whether it can stand or not stand.
All right, Chris, let's leave it there. Many thanks for your time and your analysis today. It's been really insightful. I actually wanted to see if I can squeeze in this Northwest, Southeast, North Central Development Bill that the whole of the regions are clamoring for. South-South Development Bill is actually passed its second reading. So I'm wondering whether it's one of those things that politicians do in order to siphon money. And some people will say, if you really want to know how these commissions develop, look at what NDDC have done in the last few years. I mean, NDDC really hasn't churn out the so-called developments that you would expect with the amount of monies that is being devoted to it. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
He's gotten down to the tripods of Nigeria. They have Southeast, they have Southwest, they have
West. They haven't had Northeast.
No, not.
It's just that North Central hasn't had this.
Oh, so if we want to, probably along the line, we'll get up to 6, the regions development, and then we sit down and look at it. Because Nigerians are these, what they call it, what's this word? They say, what should come to you, what should come to you, what should come to you. If it's become a political dividend of democracy, if it doesn't get your own development commission, it means you are not part of you are marginalized. Let development commission go to the 6 regional zones. Let's use it as a launching pad for our development. But when that does not happen, then it will become another waste pipe. Because you remember what that would be. Another people working, people employed sit down there. If you put people who are going to sit down and develop their region, beautiful. But if you want me to tell you, put people who will sit down there and eat guru and granite, and then waiting that will develop their region, or still hope to go to Abuja to collect funds that will bring to develop their region, then it become a total waste, become a total futility. It becomes an idea of futility, that because the idea is every of the regions of Nigeria have what they call the comparative advantage. If the Southeast have industrial and technological advantage, then you are talking about the West have marine economy, and you have the North with the agro economy. You place Nigerian comparative advantage this way, and people will exploit it, and Nigeria will be better. But until we start doing that, if we don't, we'll be looking at going to Abuja to get handouts. Then we have a long way to go. Charles, it's a long way for Nigeria today.
Absolutely. It is.
And we still be thinking of another day. Good luck, Nigerians. God bless Nigeria.